Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Watch Darius TV. I'm back with another review of Ozarks. This is season 4, episode 10. You're the boss. Like, comment, subscribe. If you like this video, leave a comment, all of this stuff. Let me just start off by saying this episode, had me thinking that when Nelson ends up meeting Ben, that I had thought that they basically want to set it up where maybe Nelson didn't really kill Ben. Maybe he was going to take Ben somewhere for hiding or something like that. But it made you gave you like almost a false sense of safety. Maybe that Nelson wasn't going to really kill him. Takes Nelson somewhere. I mean, he takes Ben somewhere. Ben is pouring his soul out to Wendy. Nelson just completely silent. He's Ben is just sitting up talking about Wendy and about their history and all this other stuff like that. Nelson could care less. Ben thinks that this is all just a dream, I guess, and then he ends up, being killed. I don't know why did they have this scene in here for, but it really made me think that maybe Ben survived and maybe they put him into hiding, but he ends up actually really being killed. That was pretty tough. I thought that he was probably going to end up surviving it, or maybe they put him in hiding, but they really killed him. That was pretty cold. Marty has to go to Mexico to speak with Navarro's people about, business, territories, and stuff like that, and also about Navarro killing his nephew, Javi. Of course, Marty's completely out of his element, but he has to stay calm and show no signs of weakness, or these people are going to completely devour him. So that was really tense. Let's see. Wendy wants to do business with Ruth since pretty much they're desperate. Ruth killed Javi, so that was their last chance of Wendy and her family being able to get out of this. Ruth pretty much denies her. Ruth basically shows that, yo, I'm not working with you, and this is just it. So, that is, she's basically setting up battle lines, basically, as you can see. Lines in the dirt saying that this is how she feels, so she doesn't care about sort of having a little war with Wendy. So that's pretty crazy. And let's see. Wendy wants to. There's a new deputy called Wyckoff. I can't really pronounce his name. He's suddenly taken over the spot of the previous sheriff that was here, and so he's the new guy. He seems pretty nice, but Wendy, definitely finds a way to get the new deputy to do some interrogating to get back at Ruth. And then also the grandfather steps in when the new deputy begins to question Jonah. So, he's coming in to help his grandson out and stuff like that. I also feel that him doing that is also a way to also put a sort of wedge in between Jonah and his mom and dad. That he's the one that's there that's caring for them, and they're, he's at odds with his parents. But definitely Wendy sort of is using this new sheriff guy as like an attack dog to do her bidding, to be able to do her work for her, which is obviously going to get Ruth to get back at her for not going to business with her. Let's see, Wendy's new. Ruth confronts the deputy, and he shows that he's clearly on Wendy's side. So this new deputy, Ruth definitely has some type of issues with this new deputy, and she brings her problems to him, and he shows that he's basically teaming up on Wendy's side, and he's going to be interrogating her now. So that's a new trouble that Ruth has to go through. She already had a weird tension with the previous sheriff. Now she has one with the new deputy. So that's new problems that she's going to have to deal with. Marty finds out one of the cartel members were scamming. He stays calm while he sees this cartel member getting beaten by the other members. Of course, Marty cannot show any type of real emotion. He has to be pretty much almost emotionless like Navarro, because if he shows any type of fear, we know what will happen. So that's how that is. Shows that he's completely, just totally out of his element here. Then let's see what else is going on in this episode. Navarro is, of course, stabbed. I already saw that coming. The way they set up that whole scene with Navarro getting stabbed up, shanked, I kind of already had a feeling that was going to happen. I'm happy he was able to defend himself, but he ends up bleeding out. I had no clue he was going to end up going into a coma. That caught me off guard, but he was stabbed up a lot. So, yeah, now he is in a coma. That's a really dangerous place because he may not make it out. And if he does make it out, he could possibly be handicapped, obviously. So who knows what's going to happen there. I think he probably may not make it out of this, but I don't know. And let's see. The grandfather Nelson, he tells Wendy about the sheriff interrogating Jonah. So this, like I said, I really believe that he's sort of trying to put in a wedge between Jonah and his mom and his dad. I think Wendy probably knows that, but she can't really do much because she's busy. But Jonah is just completely being rebellious to his family. I mean, but then again, like I said, his uncle was brutally murdered. So what can you do? So I think that's really what the grandfather is trying to do, sort of drive a wedge in between Jonah and his family, under his parents. And Marty is talking with the priest, and about unconditional love and stuff like that. And Marty is very cynical, about it and stuff like that. He's just he doesn't really care about most of what this priest is saying. He's definitely just too busy in this world he's not familiar with. I honestly feel like this whole scene of talking about the unconditional love is probably mostly has to be a reference to his marriage with Wendy. Does he love her unconditionally? Yes or no? I think that's what the talk had to be about. In other words, so I think that's what they were sort of referencing. Let's see. Then the cops think that they have Ruth, right? So they basically end up seeing Ruth in a U-Haul truck, and they pull over. I think she has drugs in there, but really Ruth was using herself as a distraction so she can have Frank move her drugs for her. So she definitely can now feel the pressure of this new deputy on her case. But she was able to outsmart them and, have Frank do her bidding for her. So she already knows this is most likely Wendy doing all this stuff. So that's going to obviously create her to have a war with Wendy. So that's how that's going to be. And then, let's see, Ruth tells Wendy to stay out of her business. Stay out of the business she's doing. So, like I said, I think it's creating more of a war between these two. I think that's what's going to happen in the coming episodes. That they're going to have more tension between them two, between Wendy and Ruth. And Arterio is the guy that's a thief. He says that he's put in the same cell that Marty was put in, and back in season 3 when Navarro wanted to hold Marty captive. He's put in that same cell. Then Wendy also calls up Claire to, basically threaten her that, hey, you need to start working with me again so she can, fix some things. Wendy, I think that they're getting more desperate, so they know that they need some help, so they're basically playing chess with each other. We already know in the previous episode, Claire basically turned her back on Wendy, and now Wendy's like, hey, you need to get back to working with me, or, there's going to be some issues. Arterio ends up admitting to stealing and ordering the hit on Navarro. So he's the one that was doing some shady business deals and stuff like that. And he also was the one that ordered the hits on Navarro. And Marty ends up having to have him killed. And Marty also, is there to see it. So it shows the traumatic type of stuff he has to go through to fit into this world that he's not familiar with. I thought this episode was pretty good, really tense. I liked it. It feels like a chess match watching this episode. The way how Marty and not Marty, Wendy and Ruth were sort of going back and forth. The grandfather is sticking up for his son against that deputy, this new sheriff guy, and Marty is completely out of his element. I love seeing that. Like I said, the way the scene was set up, I can see Navarro getting stabbed up, but him getting into a coma, that's a really scary place for him to be in because who knows if he's going to make it or not. I believe he won't make it. I think he probably might end up staying in a coma. Probably might end up, if he does get out of it, he might be brain dead for all we know. I don't know, but yeah, my theories is Navarro, I don't think he's going to make it out of that coma. And I think it's going to be, next few episodes, are going to be a back and forth between Wendy and Ruth. And Claire is going to probably be forced to go back to working for Wendy. And I'm not really sure. Marty is in a weird place. Like I said, he's in Mexico right now, and he's trying to basically survive by trying to appear, fearless, in front of all these cartel members. It might catch up to him. I'm not sure. But yeah, Nelson, also that scene where Nelson ends up killing Ben, it was a shock. I don't know how is Wendy able to really even interact with this man, knowing that he killed her brother. But I think that maybe I can go as far as say maybe Wendy might probably try to get some revenge on Nelson. Maybe, I don't know. I could see that probably happening. But then again, like I said, he's a cartel member, so I don't know how that will work out. But this episode was really good. A lot of twists and turns, and yeah, it was good. And if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And check out my next review of the next episode, episode 11 of this season. Thanks.